before that, a very good afternoon I bid to the Mr. Speaker, the highly intellectual judges, my fellow teammates, and the perplexed opposition side, and also members of the hall. So the main issue that we have brought in this debate today is about which side provide better effectiveness of learning, either single-sex school or double-sex schools. So on our side, we believe that single-sex school is better. So let's take a look how our side propose this much more to be effective, rather than we put both genders in a school. So when we put a single gender in a school, like my Prime Minister told you, that they weren't going to have the problem of being distracted with feelings, being distracted with shyness of answering in class. Because we believe in our current style school, in our school itself, we can see that when the teacher asks question, that both genders weren't going to raise their hand. Because of what? Because they are afraid that if they answer it wrongly, then they are going to get embarrassed, and also get embarrassed by both genders. The male gender is okay if the person answering wrongly is a male, then the male gender group is okay because they know it's their friend. But then the female genders are going to look down on the person because he answered wrongly. So in the result of this is that not many people who have the self-esteem to show that they know the answer, because they are afraid of making mistakes, especially in front of a different gender. So we don't want that. We want each and every of the person in the classroom to participate the class even much more better without the bother of shyness. But before that, yes.
You gave the reason of students lacking in self-esteem for the reason why they don't answer questions in class. But isn't the classroom a place where students develop self-esteem? If they don't develop self-esteem in class, where else would they develop self-esteem?
The thing is that we want them to develop self-esteem. Firstly, they need to have the courage and also the brave to speak up and to stand up and raise their hand. But if the person itself doesn't have the mentality of raising their hands at first, how can they develop? So if we start in a class with fully male gender, then they will raise their hands and they will develop that such habit till they reach university or even go out and meet the world. But if they didn't develop this kind of habit since the school itself, like too shy to answer the question, then how can develop this habit in the future? So that is the question. So next, they told us that about the observation, about their reason is much more eager. We believe that it is false, because we believe that they are going to be much more shy and afraid of making mistake. And this is really dangerous towards those people who want to learn. So next, they told us about students, they want to compete between male and female. The thing is that we also have an extra value that we want to add to the community itself. That if different schools with single-sex schools, like male and also female schools, they will going to prove in a big community that male are better than female. So they are going to work hard as a big community. But if you look inside a classroom, if they look inside a classroom only, then the male going to study hard for themselves. They won't going to help. They want that particular girl to like him, so he won't going to teach other male student, because the male student wants that girl to get attracted to him, but not not the other male student. So this is not effective.
This is not effective.
This is not effective in terms of want to upgrade the society of the world itself. So we believe by separating this, they are working as a community. They are working together to show that man is much more powerful than women, or women are much more powerful than men. So this can actually rising up the spirit of competition itself. This actually contradicts with what underside opposition is trying to uphold. They told us that by doing this, by combining them in a class, such as if they brought up that that the girls know better, that the girls understand the mathematics, but the boys won't, then the boys will going to go to the girls and ask ask them to teach the boys. But it's actually contradict between cooperate and competition. We want, when competition occurs inside the classroom between male and female, they won't going to cooperate because they want themselves to be better than each other. So this is not an effective way. So, and also we see that when a girl have a different mind than a man, how can a girl that have a different mind than a boy, how can a girl teach a boy with the mind of a girl? Okay, when we take a look at teachers, we know that teachers has undergone through training of cooperating with different training in university. When they took courses, they want to know how to cooperate with this kind of situation. They know how. But when in primary schools, when in secondary schools, we didn't go to training for teachers training. So a girl has its mind of a girl, a boy has its mind of a boy. So if a boy can't understand it, then when it goes to a girl can't even explain the way the boys can understand. So it's better for a boy and a boy, and if a boy understand the subjects, then it can teach a boy because know how the male's mind work. So it is much more effective in terms of providing effective. It is much more effective in implanting knowledge towards the person itself. So with all those reasons, we believe that single-sex school is actually the most preferable situation and environment of learning because of the highly effectiveness of learning. So we want this to happen, and all of those reasons, I rest my case.